Question number 1. A mobile administrator is reviewing the following mobile device DHCP logs to ensure the proper mobile settings are applied to the managed device. So we have this listed logs. We have this logs. So from this log, which one of the following mobile configuration setting in the mobile administrator is verifying? Question number 2 deals with the enterprise security architecture. Question number 2 says, what does a global protect gateway use to determine which resource a compliant device should be accessing and an uncompliant device should not be accessing? Question number 3 deals with security operation and incident response. Which one of the following stage of MITRE ATT&CK framework for ISS includes in this technique? So which one of the following will most likely reduce the risks that were identified by the assessment team? Question number 5 says, the Chief Information Security Officer or CISO asked security manager set up a system that sends an alert whenever mobile device enters sensitive area of the company data center. The CISO would also like to be able to alert the individual who is entering the area that the access was logged and monitored. So which one of the following will meet this requirement? Welcome back again, everyone. Today we will be continuing our discussion on CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner. On part 4, our focus will be mainly on enterprise architecture and security operation and incident response. Again, before directly diving into our discussion, let me give you a quick reminder about 591 Lab. 591 Lab is the top IT training and certification exam brand in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Singapore. Our mission at 591 Lab is to provide our client with exceptional exam preparation experience for certification in Cisco, CompTIA, Aruba, Juniper, Palo Alto, and Fortinet exam trackers. As we have been seeing in part 3, now again we will discuss two major topics of CompTIA Advanced Security Practitioner, that are enterprise security architecture and security operation and incident response. Well, I actually define every terms on part 3, so I will directly dive into the questions. So as if already seen, the enterprise security architecture contains requirement parameters or structures like enterprise security architecture, security operation and process security technology architecture. These are under security governance. You have security program management. We have corporate risk management, in which we manage risks. There are corporate governance, IT governance that are related with what we call is that protocols, policies, standard, and compliances. And also we have a security standard. So as a quick refresher against any compliance and standard, our enterprise architecture will resemble this. So actually we have been seen it in part 1, part 2, and part 3. Now let's dive into some specific chosen questions. Question number 1 deals with security operation and incident response, mainly considers or concerns about DHCP logs for MAC address randomization. So a question says, a mobile administrator is reviewing the following mobile device DHCP logs to ensure the proper mobile settings are applied to the managed device. So we have this listed logs. we have this logs. So from this log, which of the following mobile configuration setting is the mobile administrator verifying? So A, service set identifier authentication. B, wireless network auto joining. C, 802.1x with mutual authentication. D, association MAC address randomization. As I've already mentioned, this question is most probably related with the review of the DHCP log for MAC address randomization. So the correct answer should be D, or association MAC address randomization. We will see this in detail. So the correct answer is association MAC address randomization. Initially, before directly diving into our question, let me give you a quick overview of what is DHCP logs. Commonly, DHCP is the dynamic host configuration protocol, which is a network protocol that automatically assigns IP address to a device on a network. So DHCP logs record information about this assignment, including timestamp, assigned IP addresses, client device name if provided, and also the MAC address. So the MAC address randomization is the privacy feature where the device user or the device uses a different temporary MAC address for each network connection. So the main advantage of this is to make it more difficult to track the device movement based on its MAC address. So the correct answer is something associated MAC address randomization. So why not a service set identifier authentication or SSID? Why not it's service set identifier authentication or SSID? Since the log shows the timestamp, we have timestamps here, and also we have a phrase that calls assign, which indicates a dynamic host configuration protocol activity, since DHCP assigns IP address to the device on a network. But the choice A says a service set identifier authentication. This could not be the answer, since the IP address assigned 192.168.1 some IP address X are private address typically used within a local network, not for a service set identifier authentication or any wireless network auto joining. So both A and the B could not be the correct answer. While C, 802.1x with mutual authentication, this could not be the answer, since with mutual authentication, a security protocol used these are used for any port-based network access control, so it's not relevant to the DHCP logs. So MAC address randomization is, I will repeat it again, a privacy feature where a device uses different MAC address for each network connection. This often done for mobile devices to make it harder to make or to track their movement. So the correct answer should be association MAC address randomization. Question number 2 deals with enterprise security architecture. Question number 2 deals with the enterprise security architecture. Question number 2 says, what does a global protect gateway use to determine which resource a compliant device should be accessing and an uncompliant device should not be accessing? A. VPN posture. A says VPN posture. B. Device posture. B says device posture. C. Host information profile or HIP. D. Host posture. So this question is related with the access control, somewhat related to the structure of any enterprise network. So the correct answer is host information profile or HIP. C is the correct answer. Why? Initially, the host information profile provides the most granular control over resource access based on device security posture within the context of global protect. So this host information profile or HIP is a feature within commonly with Palo Alto network or on global network that gathers information about the device security posture, like antivirus or OS update or something like that. So this information is then used by the security policy to determine which resource a compliant device can access and which one an uncompliant device cannot. So the host information profile is the correct answer, while other option is not the correct option. Like for example, if you take the VPN posture, this refers to the overall security state of VPN connection itself, so not necessarily the device connected through the VPN. While device posture, this it's what we call broad term that consists of security health of the device. So this not made be specific to the question like access of resource. Like host postures also deals with security of the host's overall security. So the correct answer should be C, that is host information profile. So this is a simple question on Palo Alto network of global protect. Question number 3 is deals with security operation and incident response. Question number 3 says, the principal security analyst for global manufacturer is investigating a security incident related to the abnormal behavior in the IS network. A controller was restarted as part of the troubleshooting process and the following issue was identified. When the controller was restarted, a secure boot failed, a firmware mismatch expected with some value. So during this investigation, this modified firmware version was identified on several other controller at site. So the official vendor firmware version do not have this checksum. So which of the following stage of MITRE ATT&CK framework for ICS include this technique? A. Evasion. B. Persistence. C. Collection. D. Lateral movement. Someone who is expert in MITRE ATT&CK framework will guess this question, since the controller, when the controller was started, the secure boot was failed and the firmware mismatch is expected with some value. So this technique is mainly related with persistence technique. So the correct answer is B, which is persistence. In broader term, persistence is a technique focused on maintaining unauthorized access to a system. So it will include modifying the firmware on multiple controllers that suggests that an attempt to establish a persistent foothold in the says framework or network. So it will make it harder to remove the attacker and to regain control to our original system. So this modified firmware could potentially help to for the attacker to install or reinstall itself or resist a security measure even after the resistance or persistences happen. So persistence is the correct action that are taken during this stage. So since the firmware version doesn't have this checksum, says it's modified during the persistent technique. So the correct answer is persistence. While evasion, collection, lateral movement cannot be the answer since the evasion cannot be the correct answer. Let us see part of meter attack. Evasion. Evasion is a technique typically focused on technique to avoid detection or deceive security solution. So while modifying the firmware could potentially help with evasion, in this case the focus seems to be on maintaining unauthorized access or to be persistent in the system. So evasion could not be the correct answer. While collection is simply a technique focused on gathering information from the compromised system. So while the modified firmware might collect some information, the primary purpose seems to be again maintaining as a foothold. In our case or in our scenario, simply the primary concern is persistence. So also collection could not be the correct answer. While lateral movement is a broad term, but in simple term, lateral movement refer moving with a network to compromise additional system like any subdomain. Is concept related with pivoting technique or mirroring some network environments. So while this could the lateral goal, the immediate focus is based on our scenario is maintaining control of an already compromised controller. So the persistent is the correct answer. I think is very clear. Well, question number 4 have this scenario. An organization recently completed a security control assessment. The result highlighted the following vulnerabilities. An organization recently completed a security control assessment, so the result highlighted the following vulnerability. First, out-of-date definition. Second, misconfigured operating system. Third, inability to detect active attacks. Fourth, unimpeded access to critical server USB ports. So which one of the following will most likely reduce the risks that were identified by the assessment team? Choice number A, or first choice A, install endpoint detection and response or EDR on endpoints, configure group policy, lock server room doors, install camera, any camera system with a guard watching 24/7. B, create an information security program that addresses user training, perform weekly audits of user workstation, and utilize a centralized configuration management program. C, update antivirus definition, install next generation firewall with logging enabled, use the USB port locker, and run scan weekly. D, implement a vulnerability management program and a SIEM tool with alerting, install a batch system with zones and restrict privileged access. So we have 4 vulnerability listed like out-of-date definition, misconfigured operating system, inability to detect active attacks, and unimpeded access to any critical server USB port. So this scenario well mentioned earlier. So which should be the correct option among these to deal with what I call that, with the identified vulnerabilities? The correct answer should be C, which is update the antivirus definition, install next generation firewall with logging enabled, use the USB port locker, and run CASP scan weekly. C should be the correct answer, because initially we have a scenario which describe out-of-date definition. For this out-of-date definition, we need to update the antivirus definition for the first scenario. Secondly, we have what we call is that secondly we have a misconfigured operating system. For this misconfigured security system, we have to run CASP scan weekly, since this CASP scan security content automation protocol can help identify and potentially remediate misconfiguration. So this is the best option for misconfiguration. Thirdly, inability to detect active attack. For this, the best solution is installing what we call is that next generation firewall with logging enabled, since with logging can provide a better intrusion detection and potentially identify ongoing attack. For the fourth, unimpeded access to critical server USB ports. That is simple. For every scenario, we can use USB port locker, since it physically prevents unauthorized access through USB port. So the best option is C. So the correct answer is C. Let me take quick overview over other choices. For example, installing EDR could not be the correct answer. EDR is good tool, but it might not be for a specific vulnerability mentioned, since locking server rooms and 24/7 camera surveillance are good physical security measures, but they don't directly address the identified vulnerabilities in software and configuration issue. For the B, create information security program that address user training, perform weekly audit, user orchestration, utilize centralized configuration management program. Of course, these are very important, but weekly audit may not be catch everything, and centralized configuration management would not necessarily address out-of-date definition. So this B could not be correct answer. While D, implement a vulnerability management program and the same tool with alerting, install a badge, system zone, and restrict privileged access. Actually, vulnerability management program and SIEM or security information event management tools are very essential and valuable, but badge system and access restriction are more focused on physical security, not directly addressing software vulnerability or USB port access. So option C provide most targeted approach to address on a specific vulnerability at any identified vulnerability of the assessment. So the correct answer should be C. Question number 5 says the Chief Information Security Officer or CISO asked security manager set up a system that sends an alert whenever mobile device enters sensitive area of the company data center. The CISO would also like to be able to alert the individual who is entering the area that the access was logged and monitored. So which one of the following would meet this requirement? A. Near field communication. B. Short message service. D. Geo-interfacing or geofencing. D. Bluetooth. This is simple. The correct answer is geofencing. The correct answer is geofencing. Because geofencing uses a virtual boundary that mainly used to define a specific geographical location. So when a mobile device with appropriate app enters or exits the defined geofence, an alert can be triggered. So this technology can be used to meet both of the CISO requirement, especially to alert to the CISO and also to be able to alert to the individual who is entering the area that the access was logged and monitored. So geofencing is the correct answer. Near field communication could not be the correct answer, since NFC requires any close proximity and physical interaction of for data intercommunication or data exchange, so it wouldn't be suitable for detecting a mobile device entering a broader sensitive area. While short message service or SMS wouldn't provide real-time location information, wouldn't be ideal for triggering location-based alerts. While Bluetooth, as we all know, Bluetooth has limited range and wouldn't be reliable for detecting entry into large sensitive areas. So the question is simple. The answer should be geofencing. Question number 6. A security administrator wants to enable a feature that would prevent a compromised encryption key from being used to decrypt all the VPN traffic. You have to understand that a security administrator wants us to enable a feature that would prevent a compromised encryption key from being used to decrypt all the VPN traffic. Well, the question is more related with security operations, somewhat related with cryptography. So which one of the following should the security administrator use? A. SALSA 20 cipher. B. TLC based VPN. C. PKI based IPsec negotiation. D. Perfect forward secrecy. Well, this concept lies toward the perfect forward secrecy or PFC. So PFC is the correct answer. Well, perfect forward secrecy is a cryptographic feature that ensures even if the forward secrecy key, that means a key that are used to establish a session, is compromised, it cannot be used to decrypt the past or the future VPN traffic. So this is a simple concept behind perfect forward secrecy. I will repeat it again. Perfect forward secrecy is a cryptographic feature that ensures even if forward secrecy key or a key that are used to establish a session is compromised, it cannot be used to decrypt past or future VPN traffic. So this is because PFC or perfect forward secrecy generates a unique key for each session, independent of long-term key. So this is significant to reduce the impact of compromised key. So in simple term, perfect forward secrecy concept lies with this concept I mentioned. So SALSA 20 cipher, this is a strong encryption cipher. It alone doesn't address the issue of compromised key. So a compromised key in non-PFS system wouldn't still decrypt all the traffic. Alone cannot provide the service we mentioned earlier. While TLS-based VPN, that means transport layer security can be used for VPN, but it doesn't inherently guarantee perfect forward security concepts. So some TLS configuration may not implement the concept of perfect forward secrecy. So TLS based VPN could not be the correct answer, while PKI based IPsec negotiation, or especially PKI means public key infrastructure, can be used for authentication in iKey or Internet Key Exchange version, which is part of IPsec or IP security. So PKI by itself doesn't ensure the concept that lies with perfect forward secrecy, or PFS. So this option could not be the correct answer. So the correct answer is perfect forward secrecy. Well, everyone, this is all about the concept that lies with advanced CompTIA cyber security. Or thank you for your participation in today's class at 59 Lab. We trust that you found the material both informative and beneficial. So mastery of any new skill requires consistent practice. So we encourage you to revisit the course content and continue practicing with the assistance of 591 Lab support with us. Should you have any question or concern, please feel free to reach out to us. Your active involvement is greatly appreciated. We eagerly anticipate your presence in our upcoming class. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead.